Welcome to the Dirt Court Jesters Podcast, your home for dirt track racing across the country and right here in Southwest Ohio. This is Josh. Today, co-hosting with me, EJ, in episode 76. Have you driven a Ford lately? Young Guns and Superman versus Black Sunshine. I hope you guys are ready to get dirty.
Let me talk to you.
This week's talking points, we're going to start by talking about the Ford Motor Program, dead or alive. Dirt Tracker and Justin Fiedler discussed on a previous episode where it sounds like Carson Macedo was going to run a Ford motor, but has remained to be seen. There's such a part issue with the Ford that I don't know how anyone could be confident in running their entire organization based on that. I'm not a Ford hater, actually the opposite, but their 410 motors have been a struggle. I'm glad they're not giving up on them, but unless something changes on their end, this motor's never going to get to the finish line.
Yeah, with the Ford engines, I mean, we've seen it with Donnie Schatz there, the end of his tenure with Tony Stewart Racing. And Donnie Schatz has always been a driver. He's really good. Even with those motors, I mean, he could still run through Yeah, as far as the Ford motors are concerned, I'm not a fan either, just like you said. I mean, just so many things happen with Donnie Schatz, and I mean, that's just not like him. So, I don't see him dying, but I would like to see more, and also, like you had mentioned, the part shortage. So, that's been talked about for years, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, that seems to be the biggest issue from everything I'm hearing. When the motor's running good, it's running good, but it seems like that only lasts for so long, and then when a part busts and you can't get it, it's hard to run the thing. So I think Donnie's showing it wasn't him that was struggling, that Ford motor, and there were obviously things going on behind the scenes with that team, but I know when Donnie qualified, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit, when he qualified second, I already knew the race was over. And that's just me thinking of the old Donnie. And I don't personally think the old Donnie ever went away. I think there were things going on with TSR and the Ford motor. And I think that showed in that win he was able to get early in the season.
Yeah, there was definitely some deeper stuff than what a lot of people know with the whole TSR thing, and it's just a shame it ended the way it did.
Yeah, definitely. Well, just like Attica, I think Atomic deserves their flowers. I want to give them a shout out for their early season schedule. Although you reminded me, Jay, that their Saturday, March 14th icebreaker with the Gladiator Sprint Car Series has been canceled. They've got a hefty schedule there at Attica. They're supposed to race on Wednesday, March 18th. They're going to have Legends, Modifieds, and Sport Mods. Then Friday, March 27th, Lucas Oil Late Model and the Buckeye Spring 50 with Lucas Oil Late Models, as well as the Legend cars. Then they're going to have April 1st, which is a Wednesday, Legend cars, Modifieds, Sport Mods. Saturday, April 11th, Fast on Dirt, American Late Model Ironman Series, and Sport Mods. Saturday, April 18th, the All-Star Circuit of Champions stops by with the Steel Block Late Models and Sport Mods. Wednesday, April 22nd, the Legends, Mods, and Sport Mods. Wednesday, April 29th, Legends, Mods, and Sport Mods again. Saturday, May 9th, Valvoline American Ironman Late Model Series with the Gladiator 410 Sprints as well as Sport Mods. Saturday, May 16th, they're going to have Fast 410 Mods, Late Models, and Sport Mods. Wednesday, May 20th, they're doing the Legend Mods and Sport Mods thing again, as well as May 27th. Same show for you there. Midweek racing at Atomic. Saturday, June 6th, Fast and the Gladiator 410 are going to co-sanction event with the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets, Modifieds, and Steel Block Late Models. That would be a cool show to get to. Saturday, June 13th, Boss, Mods, Steel Block Late Models, and Sport Mods. Saturday, June 20th, the All-Star Circuit of Champions stop by for Ohio Sprint Speed Week with the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets and Sport Mods. Wednesday, June 24th, Atomic's going to have Legends mods and Sport mods Friday, July 3rd. Lucas Oil Late Models, Independence 50, and Sport mods as well. Wednesday, July 8th, the Legends mods and Sport mods are back. Saturday, July 18th, the Valvoline American Ironman Late Model Series mods, Sport mods, and Dirt Mini Trucks. Saturday, July 25th, Gladiator Sprint Tour stops by again with Steel Block Late Models and Sport mods. Wednesday, July 29th, the Legends mods and Sport mods. Wednesday, August 5th, they're going to have the Legends mods, Sport mods, and the Southern Ohio Legends there as well. Saturday, August 22nd, Valvoline American Ironman Late Model Series with Boss Sprint cars. Saturday, August 29th, Fast 410 and the Gladiator Sprint Tour co-sanctioning event. Once again, it's going to be their Hall of Fame night there as well. They're going to have mods and Steel Block Late Models with Sport mods on hand. Saturday, September 5th, Atomic's Back to School Night, 410 Sprints, mods, Steel Block Late Models, and Sport mods. Wednesday, September 9th, the Legends mods and Sport mods once again. Saturday, September 19th, Atomic Fall Prelude, 410s, mods, Sport mods, Dirt Mini Trucks. Wednesday, September 23rd, the Legends are back with mods and Sport mods. Wednesday, September 30th, you're going to get that same show once again. Saturday, October 3rd, Fast 410, Gladiator Sprints, and limited late models are on hand. Wednesday, October 7th, Atomic and Legends mods and Sport mods once again. Thursday, October 15th, they're going to have a special event with the Legend cars. The following day, Friday, October 16th, the Legend cars are there once again, and they're also there Saturday, October 17th. Friday, October 30th, Night the Stars come out, American Light Metal Ironman Series, 410 Sprints. And the following night, the Night the Stars comes out, Night 2, Halloween Spooktacular, American Late Model Ironman Series, 410 Sprints, and Sport mods. Holy crap. I am tired after that. A lot of racing going on there at Atomic, including some midweek stuff that I find very interesting. What are your thoughts about that?
I was thinking the same thing. The Wednesday deal, they're supposed to be trying to make that cheaper. So that's definitely a good thing. It looks like it's just Legend cars, Sport mods, and but I heard on their Facebook video today they was going to try to get some late models there on one of the Wednesdays maybe.
Okay.
They said sprint cars wasn't really in the cards right now. I love Atomic. I grew up 10 minutes from the racetrack. That's where I got my love for the sport. Really excited about that Wednesday series. Some other key events. I've already got my tickets for the Spring 50 for the Lucas Oil Late Models. Hopefully weather plays out good. Their Speed Week, the finale, doesn't that pay $20,000 or what is that? I feel like
for Ohio Sprint Speed Week, or are you talking about the night the stars come out?
No, the end of Ohio Speed Week.
I don't know the payout on that. It sounds right.
I feel like it's 20,000.
Okay.
And then another big one. I forgot all about Lucas Oil being back there for a second time in July. So that's a big one. I feel like that's right around the time of that big Mansfield race that they announced.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know right off, but I feel like you know the race I'm talking about.
Yep.
And then the night the stars come out, that's always been a big race ever since I've been a little kid. So definitely excited about Atomic to get going, and man, excited about schedule.
You talk about Atomic and growing up there, and that's where you got your love for racing. So what is it about Atomic? I mean, obviously, if you grew up going there and it's 10 minutes down the road, you're a little impartial, but that's okay. But what would you tell somebody that has never been there before? What's the thing to do when you get to Atomic for the first time?
Really, my love at a young age just came from the sport itself. I wouldn't say it was, a track thing. Growing up with my dad and my uncle. I mean, that's just, we grew up right down the road pretty much, and that's just where we went. Atomic's done a lot of things over the years to improve their facility. They continue to do it. There's a lot of things that, you'll see on social media and stuff, and, not all of it's good. And, you probably know what I'm talking about with the night the stars come out last year, the event with drivers not getting paid and stuff like that. And, I think all that's been ironed out, but I don't know. It's just a shame the way that played out, but, I feel like Atomic's going good places. It's unfortunate they don't have, the national spotlight as much this year. But my love came more from just the sport really than just the track.
Well, you got the local 410 series, stopping by. You got the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets popping in. Then you got Lucas Oil Late Models there for a couple shows. And you got a lot of shows too. I mean, I went to Atomic, I think last year was the first year I'd been there. Pretty neat facility. Lots of different spots to sit where you can get different vantage points of the track. I like their what's that?
We talked about the pits.
Yeah. You can there's some seating over there, and if the pits run off the track, so they don't run like around it or behind it or anything. It's they're off they are off turn one, and then they just run way back there, away from the track. It's a big pit area, and if you get way back in there, you're a pretty good clip from the track. It's kind of hard to see stuff from back there. I guess would be the only thing I'm not a fan of, but you got to work with the land you got. Other than that, like the way the grandstands are set up, the concessions, the little like beer, I don't know, the beer garden, if you will, that they've got set up. Like I think it's a pretty cool setup, and hope to get back there sometime. Moving on, Levi Hillier wins at Central Arizona Raceway with the American Sprint Car Series. Levi becomes the second youngest driver to visit victory lane with ASCS. On March 1st, the youngest was Ryan Timms. Ryan Timms won some big races last year. Levi Hillier's just getting started. I wouldn't be surprised if Levi gets another few wins under his belt this season. And also, 15-year-old Cohen McDaniel will get a win with USCS. So you got some young guns out there grabbing some wins early in the season with some pretty stout competition. Talk about that.
As far as the ASCS, good luck keeping up with Sam Hafer-Teef Jr. for the whole season. He's been doing it for years. I feel like the guy's pretty much untouchable when it comes to consistency in that series. But he has some big wins out of those guys. I follow 410s mainly, but like I said, Sam Hafer-Teef Jr., he used to run a lot of 410 stuff back with the All-Stars.
Yep.
He's always been respectable, but that's probably would be my guy for sure, for the whole season, chasing points.
Yeah, I can't argue that. The fact that Levi Hillier got that win with ASCS, which is a pretty stout series. You talk about Sam Hafer-Teef Jr., but
yep.
There's a lot of other guys, Matt Covington, just to name another, that there's some stiff competition with that series, and him grabbing a win, especially this early in the season, as young as he is something special. And then 15-year-old Cohen McDaniel goes and grabs a win with USCS. So it's cool to see these young kids get into victory lane this early in 2026. Eldora Kings Royal Camping. You know, Kings Royal comes up. I'm going to be there. EJ, I know you're going to be there. I think the last couple of years I've seen you there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Checked earlier today, less than 50 spots remain in Eldora Village, and track camping at Eldora for the Kings Royal will be sold out. I'm surprised it's not sold out yet. It's not making it to April. There's no way. So if you're trying to camp at the track, you're going to want to get on EldorSpeedway.com, get your campsite. Speed camping's there as well. My guess is before we get to July, all the camping in that area will be gone. I've said this before, World 100 camping was gone super fast. A lot of renewals this year, record renewals from everything I was hearing. So I'm not surprised that Kings Royal Camping is going to be sold out sooner rather than later. Do you have your site?
Yes, I do. I actually, where they added some new campsites, they took my one away last year, but they ended up calling me back after I renewed that. And they was like, hey, do you want your old spot back in Eldora Village on the tree line now? So I had one of the first dibs on that. I've had all of my Eldora camping and all of me and the boys tickets since December. So we're ready to go. We're just waiting. Yeah, man. Eldora. We absolutely love Eldora. It's our vacation every single year. And they got a lot of good things, and they're throwing a lot of big money into the play too. So I'm definitely excited to get back there and see how this plays out. Hopefully, Josh, it goes a little smoother than last year, because that was kind of hard to sit through at times, and a lot of hurt drivers for that whole entire week, man. And I just hope to see, it go a little smoother this time.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you there. And you talked about your site getting moved and all that stuff. Well, they added some sites over there in Eldora Village near the tree line, like you're talking about. They also, from everything I've seen without being there, looking at the map, cart track is gone, and that is camping too. So they've added sites, and they're still selling out. So if you're trying to camp at Eldora, especially for the Kings Royal, I would not wait. I would jump on it now.
Do it now.
Back-to-back for JD would start the week. Win number 94 would tie him with Scott Bloomquist at the top of the all-time Lucas Oil Late Models Dirt Late Model win list. And the following night, Jonathan Davenport, Superman, becomes the all-time Lucas Oil winner. Some people then started talking comparisons between the two. I think it's too early for that. Bloomquist helped pave the way, in my opinion. And I've told you this. I enjoy late models. I watch late models, but I'm not going to pretend to know a ton about the late models. I know Bloomquist had a hand in building cars too, which is something that would separate him from Jonathan Davenport as far as what he did building cars, when he did, and how dominant he was. JD's got more Lucas wins. Bloomquist has more World of Outlaw late model wins. Bloomer has more Dream wins. JD's got another World over Bloomquist. JD's also got a PDC, which Bloomquist does not have. There might be some I'm missing, and might be some I'm leaving out. Both of them have 2 North-South 100 wins. And trying to track down statistics specifically on how many wins both of them had in late models was not as easy as I was hoping it would be. But I think Bloomquist is in the region somewhere of 600 wins, where Jonathan Davenport might be more in high 100, 200 wins. So there's still some work to do. I mean, Davenport won the million. He's won a lot of money. Obviously, times have changed as far as how much money's getting paid out to these guys. What are your thoughts on this? I think it's still too early to say. I think if Davenport continues to run like we know he can run, continues to win, I think he can close that gap and maybe pass Bloomquist. But for now, I'm sticking with Scott Bloomquist.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue about all the money recently Jonathan Davenport has really won, because that guy's won a lot of money. As far as the debate between the two, like you said, we'll probably need some more time for that. I'm a huge Scott Bloomquist fan. I grew up rooting for Scott Bloomquist. I watch him dominate at KC Raceway every single time they was there. Scott Bloomquist, he built all of his own stuff, all of his own parts and everything. And yeah, man, just no weak links. And I live by that every single day. And yeah, I'm a huge Bloomquist fan on that until proven different.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's hard to argue at this point. Not to say that can't change. I'm sure Davenport's still got quite a bit of racing left in him, and we obviously know the guy can win. So it'll be interesting to see. Moving on to the Northern Allstar Late Models schedule, they're going to have the IRA based in Memorial Saturday, March 14th at Brownstown. I don't know if that's been canceled yet, but the way things have been around here, Brownstown's only a couple hours away from me. I hope they can get it in. It's nice to see racing that early in the season in our neck of the woods, but I don't know. But they're supposed to run there at Brownstown Saturday, March 14th, $10,000 to win. The 50th annual Spring 50, Saturday, March 21st at Florence, $10,000 to win. Jeff Gollett Memorial on Friday, April 3rd at Ponderosa for $10,000 to win. The Jack Boggs Memorial, Saturday, April 4th, Mud Lake Valley, $10,000 to win. Saturday, April 11th, they're going to be at Mount Pillier with $7,500 to win. Marvin O'Neill Memorial, Friday, April 17th at Paragon, $10,000 to win. John Gill Classic, Saturday, April 18th at Brownstown, $10,000 to win. Don Hobbs Classic, Friday, May 29th at Bloomington, and $10,000 to win. 43rd Annual Hoosier Dirt Classic, Saturday, May 30th at Brownstown Speedway, and $10,000 to win. Whiskey City Classic, Saturday, June 13th at Lawrenceburg, and $7,500 to win. CJ Rayburn Tribute, Friday, August 21st at Circle City Raceway for $10,000 to win. They're going to wrap up the season with the 22nd Annual Hall of Fame Classic, Saturday, August 22nd at Brownstown Speedway, and $10,000 to win. So not a long schedule, but $10,000 to win for almost every race outside of Mount Pillier and Lawrenceburg. Nice schedule put together there for the Northern Allstar Late Model Series. What do you think?
Yeah, have they said how many drivers are supposedly supposed to run that series, or have you seen anything like that?
I have not seen anything posted about that.
There's a lot of tracks there that I've never been to that I would love to get to. Lawrenceburg being one of them. I mean, I couldn't imagine them guys on that track. I don't know if that's something Lawrenceburg does a bunch of there. But yeah, I'm definitely like I said, I'm excited to get to a lot of new tracks, and I feel like me and the kids are finally in a position to do that now. So
nice. Well, Lawrenceburg, I've been there quite a few times, always for non-wing sprint cars. But I bet late models are pretty cool. I think it'd be something to see them. And that kind of jumped out at me. Is
do you know? Like,
I don't know that they run late models there a ton. I can't tell you off the top of my head Lawrenceburg's schedule for 2026. But I don't think late models are a thing that is there too often. So that race on Saturday, June 13th, I think that's going to be one to get to. I think that would be a good show. It's a really cool track if you've never been. Really nice. From the stands to the concessions to even the restrooms, like it's really well taken care of facility. And if you haven't been there, I would suggest it. If you get there early enough, you can pay and actually park on the backstretch. So you can park your car on the backstretch and sit there. If you're able to see from your vehicle, you can sit there and watch the races. It's outside the back wall. So it's really cool. If you haven't been there, I definitely suggest getting to
Yeah,
Lawrenceburg.
that's a cool track for sure.
As always, want to give a shout out to Victory Fuel. From Purple Potion to Throttle Punch to Lucky Lemon, fueled by electrolytes, charged with vitamins, and kid-friendly. Fuel your victory at drinkvictory.com and use the code Jesters10 at checkout to save. Drinkvictory.com and use the code Jesters10 at checkout to save.
I drank a beer. I drank another beer. 3 beers. 4 beers. Oh, no.
This week's race recap and racing to come, we're going to start with March 1st, Central Arizona Raceway with ASCS, where Levi Hillier would get the win, Justin Peck in second, and Sam Haferteef Jr. in third. And with the third place finish, Sam Haferteef Jr. would win the inaugural Sonora Clash Points Championship. Again, young Levi Hillier gets the win there with ASCS. Moving to Volusia with the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars.
Sheldon Hodenshield with the win. And David Gravel in second, Carson Macedo in third. Let's go, Sheldon. That's a big win there. Evolution, that new ride. Excited to see him out of Florida now.
Yeah, I know when he got that win, I knew you and the boys were pumped, and that ride's pretty slick too. But not surprised, of course. Sheldon, Noss, we all knew it was going to be a pretty cool ride, and so glad to see that team getting a win this early in the season. Moving to March 2nd, Volusia with the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars, where Anthony Macri would get the win, Ashton Torgerson in second, and David Gravel in third. March 4th, Golden Isle and the Lucas Oil Late Models, Jonathan Davenport gets the win, and it would not be the last win of the week for JD. Hudson O'Neill in second, and Brandon Shepard in third. Moving to March 5th at Golden Isle with the Lucas Oil Late Models.
So, yeah, like you said, Jonathan Davenport with his second win in a row. Hudson O'Neill in second, and then my favorite late model guy, Brandon Overton, in third. Dennis Erb Jr. was up 15 from his starting spot, and Ross Robinson was plus 16. There was a lot of passing that whole week.
Yeah, big numbers for both of those guys, and good to see some good racing there at Golden Isle. March 6th, Deep South Speedway with USCS, and 15-year-old Cohen McDaniel grabs his first USCS win. Cohen McDaniel gets the win, Chris Martin in second, and Terry Gray would round out the podium. Golden Isle, Lucas Oil Late Models, and EJ, Jonathan Davenport does it again. Jonathan Davenport with the win, Tyler Erb from 14th to second, and Ricky Thornton Jr. in third, but that was not the biggest mover of the night. Max Blair goes from 26th to 4th. Get that man a chicken dinner. 26th to 4th. I don't know. Could it happen? We're really early in the season. 26th to 4th. 22 cars. Man, Max Blair was on the move.
He was moving.
Talladega Short Track in the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars.
Donnie Schatz back in victory lane. It's about time. It's, we've all been waiting for this. And he not only won, he dominated the race. And he did it to Sheldon Hodenshield behind him the whole time.
Yeah.
So Donnie Schatz finally back in victory lane. Sheldon Hodenshield in second, and Buddy Kofoid. What a race.
Yeah. Yeah, and I can remember I told you this, and I told some other people this. When I saw Donnie qualified second quick, in my head, the race was over.
Yeah.
I would say sometimes I questioned Donnie, and I don't think I would be alone in that because of what was going on, but we didn't know what was going on behind the scenes, and we knew Ford motors were struggling, but we didn't know all that. But I clearly didn't think Donnie was done, because when I saw him qualify second quick, I was like, well, this race is over. I had already had Donnie winning the race just after qualification. So, like I said, Donnie Schatz got the win, Sheldon there in second, and Buddy Kofoid in third. March 7th, Deep South ASCS, Davey Franick gets the win. That dude's been just That's what Davey Franick does. He just wins races. Davey Franick gets the win, Chris Martin second, and Corbin Gurley in third. Back to Golden Isle with the Lucas Oil Late Models. This one felt like a race that if you were at it, you'll be talking about it for a while. Did you catch that one?
I did. I watched it. It was a good race from Devin Moran for sure. Glad to see him get the win. Another Ohio guy. Good run for Garrett Alberson. He hasn't, been doing a whole lot, compared to what we're used to. But yeah, the Trey Mills crash was just absolutely nasty. And then, that car was just absolutely destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up leaving it there until the feature was over because there was no way to get it to the pit area. And it was all good racing there, but definitely from that night was a crash that got my attention there.
Yeah.
And he won,
and,
majority of the race.
Yeah. And it's funny though, because the night before we were talking about how Max Blair went from 26th to 4th, and oh man, that's got to be it. And then what happens? Devin Moran gets the win from 22nd. Max Blair goes ahead and goes 25th to 2nd. That's insane. Back-to-back nights.
2 nights in a row.
What was that? 44 cars he passed in 2 nights? 44, 45? In 2 nights. That's insane.
That's 51. If we're talking about Max Blair, 51.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Max
that's
Blair. He just passes people. That's what Max Blair does. Passes people. Garrett Alberson would be in third. And Clay Harris, who's had a strong start to the season, from 24th to 4th. Devin Moran with the win, Max Blair in second, and Garrett Alberson in third. March 8th, at Lincoln Speedway in the 410s. Chase Dietz, he goes ahead and wins back-to-back races. Chase Dietz with the win, Kyle Moody in second, and Brock Zierfoss would round out the podium. Moving on to racing to come.
Racing to come. It looks like the Power Eye Midgets on March 12th will be at Creek County. We got some more national sprint cars coming into play. High limits at Las Vegas Motor Speedway on March 12th as well. March 13th, high limit back at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. March 14th, over 100 enlisted. It's go time. I'm just reading the notes here.
My race pass had over 100 events listed. And I checked, and that was the first time since last season they've had that many events on a day. So,
for what, March, or for the day?
Yeah, for March 14th, there were over 100 events just that day listed on my race pass.
Oh yeah, I didn't catch that. That's insane.
Yeah. So Atomic, we talked about them. They're already rained out. Unfortunately, Brownstown with the Northern Allstar Late Models, Duck River with the Ultimate Heart of America Super Late Models versus the Ultimate Super Late Model Series, Cannondale Speedway with the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars, Las Vegas Motor Speedway with High Limit, Lincoln Speedway with 410s and 358s, Port City with Power Eye Midgets, Port Royal with the STSS Big Block Mods. Have you ever seen those guys in person?
Not the Short Track Super Series, no. I've seen the Super Dirt Series out at Atomic before, but I've never been to I don't feel like they come around Ohio too much. I feel like they're more like northeast or sometimes maybe a little south.
Definitely. They had some nasty wrecks last year. Hopefully that's, you talked about the Kings Royal.
I want up.
Yeah, just some rough rides for those guys in 25. I hope they don't revisit that in 26. After Port Royal and the Short Track Super Series, we got a Smoky Mountain Speedway with the World of Outlaw Late Models, Extreme Speedway with USCS. March 15th, BAPS is going to have 410s and limited late models. And that's all we got here in episode 76. EJ, thanks for hopping on. Any last words?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Josh. I definitely appreciate it. Like I said, I apologize for the little video stuff. I'm student of the game, man. I'm trying to learn about the sport more and hoping to get more involved, man. It's ever growing, and I just want to continue to grow with it, man. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you hopping on. Hopefully we get a chance to do more of these in the future. Like, follow, and subscribe. And we hope to see you guys at the track.
Goodbye. Mwah, and good night. Bang.
Thanks for listening to the Dirt Court Jesters Podcast. As always, this is Josh, and you can follow us on X, on Facebook, and on YouTube at Dirt Court Jester. And we hope to see you guys at the track.